What's up, and welcome back to the channel for yet another FC Finch Transformers review, official Transformers review this time, since I always have to specify these days. And of course, today we're taking a look at Studio Series concept Megatron from the Bumblebee movie, a figure I have been waiting to look at for a long time, and I'm so glad to finally have this in my hands to take a look at and review for you. Real quick, do want to give a shout out to JJ. This figure, of course, comes from him. This is his figure. I actually had this on pre-order for him, but he did manage to find this in stores, and so he has done the unboxing already, and then he has lent it to me to take a look at, and I could not be more excited. So let's get right into it. Let's take a quick look at the box. We'll put Mr. Megatron right off to the side, and yes, this is not a mega tank. This is Megatron, even though he turns into a mega tank. And of course, we have a very nice shot of the concept art from the Bumblebee movie, looking real good. Sorry for the glare, but just really good. Got those red menacing eyes. Bumblebee movie, of course, got Takara Tommy up here, Generations and Transformers inside. Concept art Megatron, made by Hasbro for ages 8+ and up. And then if you look inside, you have concept Megatron, have kind of like a turning into Galvatron thing here. Looks really good. Authentic Transformers, since we gotta specify these days. You have the shots of what he can do on the back, him in robot mode, him in alien ship mode, him in alien tank mode, and of course some of the cool stuff that he comes with. 32 steps, 39 steps, whole lot of steps here, but no less fun. And then a nice menacing, look at that ugly mug right there. That is just beautiful. Got the beady red eyes, of course. Then of course this is a leader, because this is one of the big boys. This is like the boss of the mainline collection Transformers, Bumblebee, and then of course in the bottom a whole bunch of legal stuff that I don't know about. And then of course we do have the instructions. Got a nice shot of Megatron there on there from the Bumblebee movie. And if we open them up, they are done twofold. So of course you got all the orientations of his cannon and whatnot, how to implement that. And then you have on one side the instructions to get him into his tank mode, and then on the other side, whole bunch of pictures. They're cramming all 39 steps into this. And then of course you got his instructions to get him into ship mode, various orientations of that. And that's basically it for the instructions. And it is finally time. Let us bring forth Megatron right here, and he looks great. I am pleased to report that this figure looks just absolutely excellent. I did not expect Hasbro to hold back with this guy, and they clearly did not. We'll get in on the head. Got a very nice red done for the eyes. The face is just loaded with detail. I'm not sure how well you can see all that, but you can just see his like entire face, just tons of nice molded detail. Looks like a silver paint even for the helmet. If it is plastic, it definitely has a real nice sheen to it. Moving on to the chest, you got the Decepticon symbol in a dark gray. Got like kind of some riveting detail here. It's really good. Kind of gives them an industrial feel. You got the little reds, little hues of G1 with like little dabbles of silver paint all over going down. You got some dark gray plastic, tons of molded detail. Again, more riveting detail as we get to the crotch area. You got some deep magenta or maroon color for the forearms. Just kind of adds that little clashing in there. I love the detailing going on to the arms. Tons of molded detail again with these guys. Got again some, there's more of his crotch detail. Then of course you got this nice silver accents, got the rivets on the side going towards the upper legs right there. Tons of molded detail going down. I mean, they just captured the pure essence of the G1 details in here, just molded to a more modernish type body. Got some silver on the toes right here, looking real good. If we turn them around real quick, you can just see there's not that many gaps on this guy. Even the forearms are covered up real nicely with a flap. You know, I got the tank treads back here, but they're pretty well hidden. Similarly to the to that mega tank figure we looked back at. I mean, there's no gaps. This guy really incredibly well done all around on this figure. He just looks really good. Again, all the nice detailing, even on the back, even the places you'll never see when he's on your shelf. As far as his articulation goes, his head does rotate. It's a bit tight of a rotation. It can look up just a bit. It can look down, or basically straight on. The arms do rotate all the way around. You do get a little bit of a joint of a butterfly right here, which looks really good. They go all the way out. And then of course you have bicep swivel as well. You do have lower wrist, or upper wrist, so I should say. You do have a elbow right there that gets you about that far, and the wrists do have a rotational, and then you have a base hinge on one finger, and then a secondary hinge, and then 3 fingers are on the base hinge, and then they are on a secondary hinge. So really good to see articulated fingers on this guy. Move his arms out out to the side. You got his little pads right here. They do rotate back and forth, but it is kind of more for transformation. And then, of course, you can move his frontal pads out like this. He can do a nice fusion kick, a mega fusion kick. He can do a fusion back kick. He can do a fusion side kick. All the fusions with the Megatron. He does also have a bicep swivel. I did forget that. No ab crunch to speak of. And then, of course, he does have a full bend at the knee. Look at that. He does have thigh swivel as well, if I didn't already mention that. And then, of course, the toe does go down a little bit. It goes back on the heel right there. And then it goes really nice for days to the inside. And that is it for his articulation. Just quite a lot going on with this guy. As far as his accessories go, this is basically it. He just comes with his cannon right here, and he can do a few things. So, of course, you can kind of move it around on this hinge right here. If this counts articulation, you can move it down and up. And then, of course, has a hinge right here. It just pegs into his arm, so you can peg it in on either arm if you so desire. Or check this out. You can actually peg it into his back if you want. And you can kind of hold it right there, and you can kind of bring it up, and he has a little shoulder cannon, which is also really cool. And yeah, I kind of like this look as well. It's not entirely classic. Let's see. Can he do the Armada Megatron look? Let's bring that down. And oh, yes, he can. Yes, he can. He can do that. So then, of course, we'll put this back right here real quick. Just peg this in right here. Peg this, and we'll put this in right here. And he, of course, does come... He doesn't come with a blast effect, but of course, JJ hooked me up with one of his from, I believe, the Prowl and Ironhide Death set. You can actually plug this into his cannon right here, and he can totally blow away some Autobots. So there we go for that. He can get Brawn a run for his money. And that's pretty much it for his accessories. Not all that much, but just what he needs. And for a few quick comparisons right here, we'll get him in with my only other mainline figure that I own, a Voyager class, Mr. Hot Rod himself. And of course, Megatron just towers over him. In fact, Megatron to his head is about 7.5 inches tall, which is just massive for a mainline figure. That is pretty cool right there. But that's how he kind of looks side to side with Hot Rod. And then, of course, we'll bring him in. We're going to do it. You bet your butt we're going to do it. We got to move these guys way back because we're going to get him in there with Big Daddy Monocrat Mega Tank. And again, I mean, you know, I'll raise the camera up so you guys can kind of see how this looks. I mean, we all knew that, you know, this is kind of a moot point comparison, but just to kind of give you an idea, because there's a Bumblebee Megatron for everybody, and to kind of show you the differences between the two. I mean, both these companies, you have a third-party take on what Megatron may have looked like, and then you have kind of the official, which is kind of the, I guess, canon, if you will. But nevertheless, just kind of cool to see both takes of these figures, and both are really awesome representations. So you got one if you collect your third-party, you got your big Masterpiece collection, or if you want to just do the mainline collection, you have a perfect option there as well. And that's going to be pretty much it for our comparisons. And there is one final thing to go over, and that, of course, is the display base that you get in the box. Actually, is part of the box, his background, of course. And you got Cybertron right there, his Seekers behind him, and you can put him up ahead, getting ready to lead the final charge against the Autobots. Of course, that was Shockwave's role in the actual film, but of course, if Megatron were there, surely he would have done it itself. But there you go. And it is that time to get Mr. Megatron transformed up into alt mode number 1. He is a triple changer, you know. So we're going to go into tank mode first, and what we're going to do is we're going to rotate his head backwards just like this for now. And then what I want to do is we're going to take the cannon, just do a little bit of transformation. You're going to bring it down on this hinge here. And you notice you got a tab right here. It's going to go to a slot right back up here. Just put it up just like that. And then what we could do is bring the arms, the hands out. Now you want the hands kind of with the finger, the upper finger tucked into the thumb as low as you can go, and you want kind of the lower fingers tucked over the palm just like this. This is a very tight fit, but you're going to open up this little panel right here, and you're going to put the hand in just like that, and then you can close this up just like that. And then what you want to do is you just want to rotate this hand just like this in right here, and that's it for one arm. I'm going to do the other one off camera. I'll be right back. So we got him looking like this, and if it didn't need any saying, this arm is pretty much the same as this side, just less the cannon, but depending on what side you have the cannon on. That said, you're going to move his little front pelvic guards out just like this, just to get some stuff out of the way. You're going to take these pelvic guards on the side and shift them all the way to the back just like this, just for now. And we're going to start work on the legs. So what we want to do real quick for the legs is you're going to kind of first off, first off, you want to open up the wing down here, and then you can just open up the wing. It just kind of tabs in right here. You see you got a tab right in here. It just kind of tabs in right in there, and you can just bring that out for now. Then what you want to do is just kind of want to pull up and just kind of untab the lower leg just like this. And you're going to put the foot back in here. Then what you want is you just want to kind of want to motion this up. It's on a hinge right up here. It's kind of hard to see. And you're going to put this tab on the tank foot right into this slot right up here. And if you aren't that far enough, you just got to keep going back farther. Then you can just set that down right there just like that. Then what we're going to do, as soon as that's secured, you can kind of bring down the wing just like this and then bring this lower wing out just like that. And the last step, and this is very important because I always tend to forget it, you have this little tank tread right back here. You just kind of want to pull it out just till it snaps in place. It might go back in, but just FYI, you just want to pull that out as best you can. And then what we want to do is you can open up his, you kind of want to open up his leg. It comes out on a panel right here. This is kind of a tight fit. There we go. And you're going to bring it out just like this and just kind of leave this hanging just like this. And now you can close up this panel right here, and you can kind of close up the pelvic panel right in here. And you can just leave these like that for now. And it's going to be the same thing on the other side. I'm going to do that off camera. So now we have them just like this, and this is pretty much the legs done for now. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of untab the backpack just like this. Just kind of tabs in right up here, and then you got the arms tabbing in right in these slots right up here. You got these tabs right here, and you're just going to kind of bring this back. It's on a double hinge. So you got a hinge here, and then a hinge down here, and just bring this back just like this. Next, what you want to do is you want to flip the chest up so his head is looking upside down. Hello. And you have these two panels right here. Bring those out. Another very easy step to miss as well. Then what we can do is we can kind of bring this piece back and just leave it for a little bit, and we can rotate the legs forward just like this on this hinge right here. You have a tab right here. It's going to go into a slot right up here, and you could just plug that in just like that. And it's going to be the same thing on this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate it just like this, and then we're going to bring it in just right here. Then you can push this all the way back and just kind of set it down, and it's going to seat itself right back on here just like that. And now what you can do is you have a tab right here. It's going to go into a slot right here. So you're just going to bring the arms in just like this, and you just kind of want to angle them so the tab fits right in. It's not a tight connection. It's kind of a loose connection. And then we can start rotating the arms at the bicep and just kind of rotate them. And you want both arms to interconnect into the cannon. Just like that. It's kind of a little dancing act. I'll make sure that we get the tab in there just right. There we go. Tabs in there just right. And like magic, there we have Studio Series Bumblebee Megatron in his tank mode. So let's check out that tank mode. And as far as most Cybertronian vehicles are, it's pretty much just his body contorted into some weird position that looks entirely incoherent. You know, got his chest up here, his legs are folded in up here, his arms up here, but it looks relatively convincing as a tank. Just a few new details. You of course have this tank tread detail now fully visible. You got the little gears right in here. These like to push themselves up, but they do have a faux wheel, by the way, so it doesn't necessarily roll up, but you can slide it along and make it look relatively convincing. If we look at the bottom, of course got his head poking out, just giving you that nice death stare, but you have most of the molded detail that we saw previously. Everything locks in relatively well. And as far as articulation goes in the tank mode, you of course can swivel this all the way around if you so desire. You can target Autobots from all angles, and of course it will move up on this hinge back here. It moves up quite a ways, so it just gets a variety of poses in this mode. And we'll do a couple quick comparison since there's not much else to say in this mode. There he is next to SS86 Hot Rods. You can see he can just totally crush some Autobots if you so desire. And of course, we'll get him in next to his big daddy, the Monocrat Mega Tank, so you can see how that looks. And again, two unique takes on a different concept, and they both are relatively cool. Actually, You know, with the Studio Series, if you're looking for that extra playability, it is more articulated. It's just a matter of what you prefer, and of course what you collect. Obviously, if you are more of the masterpiece scale, you're going to want the Mega Tank. But if you like the Studio Series, you cannot go wrong with this SS Megatron. He is superb. And that's pretty much it for his tank mode. Alright, and it's time to get him transformed up into his final mode, his alien spacecraft mode. So what we want to do real quick is let's start dismantling the turret. Just unplug it from the other arm, and then you can rotate on this hinge right here, and then just kind of rotate outward just like this. And then what we want to do is bring the gun up on this hinge. You have a tab that's going to go into a slot right there, and the tab on the bottom, the slot on the bottom are going to go into the tab there, just as if you're going back into robot mode. Bring that down like that, and rotate this around just like this. Same thing for the other side. Rotate, rotate, and you can start bringing the arms outward just like this. I think there was actually one too many rotations, so I apologize. So rotate, excuse me, back like this. There we go. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this out just like this. Just kind of leave this up, leave it out of the way so everything's looking like that. Next, what we want to do is we want to bring out the chest piece, and we're going to rotate the head back around the other direction. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put that back, and we're going to bring out, you have this little alien ship cockpit hidden here. You're going to fold this out right here, and then fold out the front of the cockpit just like this. And next up, you're going to bring these two panels down. They're going to close up this gap on the bottom just like this. And we're going to move on to the legs next. So what we want to do for the legs is you're going to unplug them, and then you can start rotating them back down on this hinge here. Same thing for the other side, unplug and rotate back down on this hinge here. And what we can do is we can start folding the thigh pads back over to the back. We're going to leave them just like that for now, because what we want to do is we want to collapse the legs back up again as if we're going into robot mode. Just like that. Next, what we want to do is we want to bring this back on this hinge here, and we're just going to close this up, and you can open up the arm so this will close in over his face. Oh, sorry. You push this forward on this hinge right here, and then you close it up, and it's going to close over on his face just like that, and that'll basically finish the entire front of the ship. And you can kind of leave the arms out to the side on this hinge right here. They will hold off like that for now. Then what we want to do, and actually let me rotate this down so we can see, you can push this back in, and you can unplug the wing. You just kind of fold the wing out just like this. And what you want to do is you want to unplug the lower frontal part of the leg, and you're going to bring this down. And what you want to do is you want to, this will rotate outwards on this on a hinge right about here. So you just want to rotate this all the way out, and you notice you got a tab right here. You're going to bring the foot down, and you got a slot right down here, and you're just going to tab that in just like that. And you're going to kind of bring this up. This is going to be his little mandible. So you got it looking just like that. And now what we want to do is bring this outward just like this. And what we can do is we can rotate this up, and you have a little tab connection. It's kind of hard to see. It's going to go right here, and then you got another tab right up here that's going to go into a connection right here. This one's going to be kind of the locking tab though. So what you want to do is you want to just kind of push this in just like that, and that'll tab in just like this. And you can kind of bring this mandible back like that. And you really quick want to make sure these tabs are facing on this side just like this. You can open this up, and what you want to do is you want to move this in just like this, because you got a little tab right here on this little pelvic piece, and that's going to close in just like that. And you're going to have the same thing on the other leg. I'll do it off camera, and I'll be right back. And we're coming on the last steps here. So you notice you have two tabs on the forearms right here, and you want to rotate in at the bicep one more time to get those tabs facing down. Because what those are going to do is you're going to line those up, and those are going to position themselves right into here. So just kind of get this positioned just like that. There we go. And same thing for the other side. So bring down at the bicep, rotate down, get that tab facing downward. And what you want to do is you want to bring it down into this little slot right down here. And you got to kind of work the arm. It's kind of difficult to show on camera, just like that. And last step is to bring out the wings all the way out. And like magic, there we have Megatron in his, I guess, Cybertronian bat mode. He's supposed to be a Cybertronian ship, but we'll take a look at him nevertheless. And he is quite a huge Cybertronian ship. Again, I will say this, I feel like this is a bit of a stretch with the way some of this does, or some of the ways that this transforms, but overall, I do kind of like this mode quite a bit, and it does kind of hold together a bit securely. He's got these beady little wings, but he's in space, so I guess wings really don't matter in space since it is low gravity field. I do like these mandibles right here. His knees kind of become these little mandibles. He's like a giant space crab, and yeah, oh, yeah, this came untabbed. But either way, you can kind of give him, have him grabbing up some Autobots, and you can, of course, reposition this cannon any way you want. The instructions tell you you can put it on top of any one of these ports. I kind of think it looks cool as this underbelly beam cannon, even though I can't really see it tabbing in to this arm right here, so you're just going to have to kind of deal with that. But otherwise, it's relatively convincing as an alien spaceship. I think I like the tank mode more, but this mode is still cool in and of itself. And again, I gotta admire the engineering here. It's him doing some weird origami maneuvers, but hey, it still works in my opinion. Now, JJ did actually go on Reddit. Apparently, fans are all over this thing already, and I gotta get this tabbed in again, but either way, fans are all over this thing already, and there are quite a few different alt modes that people have given this, just fan-made alt modes. I'm gonna post a few pictures of those in this video just shortly. We'll scroll through those just a bit, but either way, you know, a whole bunch of things you can do with this bot. Really cool overall. And we'll do one quick comparison before we finish up. We'll just bring SS86 Hot Rod, and you can see he just basically towers over the Autobot. He's just got that wide mass and girth, and that's pretty much it for his alien spaceship mode. So let's summarize on Studio Series Bumblebee movie concept Megatron. And you know, when Hasbro does these product reveals, you just kind of know on some of them that they're absolutely going to knock it out of the park. And that was the case with concept Megatron right here. I think as soon as a lot of people saw this show up on Hasbro streams, they just kind of knew that, yeah, Hasbro's going to kill it. And boy, did they ever kill it with this figure. Beautiful coloration, beautiful detailing all over, as are most of these live action movie Studio Series figures. Again, this guy's just loaded with molded detail. Articulation wise, he has got masterpiece levels of articulation. Accessories, he comes with just with what he needs. He is Megatron after all, but it does have plenty of positions for various poses that just absolutely look great. His transformations are enjoyable and they are technical to an extent, which is not a bad thing. It is very cool to see on some mainline toys, and you know, his modes are typical Cybertronian Megatron, or movie Megatron modes, I should say. But I think they both honestly work. I quite like the tank mode more than the alien spaceship, but I do think both have their merits, and both are equally as fun in their own way. So I'm honestly a big fan of those. And I'm honestly a big fan of this toy. And if you want one of your own, you could, of course, check out Big Bad Toy Store. JJ, of course, was able to get this at retail, so you could, of course, look in the stores if you do value the hunt more than most. But either way, I'll put a link to Big Bad Toy Store down in the description. And you guys know what to do. If you found this video fun and informative, hit that like button down below. If you're not yet subscribed, join my clan and subscribe to my channel. I do Transformers reviews quite relatively regularly, amongst a few other stuff, but Transformers is my bread and butter. And that being said, that is going to conclude this review. I have been SD Finch. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.